I am not a financial expert. I am just an ordinary person who has changed her life through financial management. I am here to share replicable ideas for making money, saving money, and getting rich. Today, I want to talk about something really close to my heart, my investment journey. It is a story full of bumps, bruises, and quite a few hard lessons. When I was in my early 20s, I was just like many of you, eager to make money, and fast. I came from a regular family, no big inheritance or financial gurus guiding me. So when I saw those flashy ads promising high returns, my eyes lit up. I thought, this is it. This is my chance to get rich quick. Looking back, it was a classic case of FOMO, fear of missing out, combined with a serious lack of understanding. I dove headfirst into what seemed like exciting opportunities without doing any real research. I heard whispers about hot stocks, got tips from unreliable sources, and convinced myself these were sure bets. Boy, was I wrong. My first big mistake was short-term speculation. I would jump into a stock based on some vague rumor, expecting it to skyrocket overnight. When it inevitably did not, I would panic and sell, often at a loss, only to see it recover later. It was a constant cycle of chasing highs and selling lows, a recipe for disaster that I mastered pretty quickly. I remember one time I put a significant chunk of my savings into a penny stock because a friend of a friend swore it was about to explode. It felt like a thrill ride at first, watching the numbers fluctuate, but then it just tanked, and I lost nearly half of what I had invested in a matter of days. It was a gut-wrenching feeling, a sharp punch to the stomach that was not the only type of pitfall I encountered. I also fell for outright scams. You know, those too. Good to be true schemes that promise unrealistic returns with minimal risk. One time I was lured into a supposed high yield investment program that guaranteed daily profits. They had a slick website, professional-looking documents, and even a referral bonus system. I genuinely believed it was legitimate because who would go through all that trouble to scam people, right? Well, they did, and they did it well. I invested a decent amount, excited about the daily payouts. For a few days, I saw the numbers climbing in my online account. It felt amazing. Then, one morning, the website was gone, the contact numbers disconnected, and all my money vanished into thin air. It was a harsh awakening, a painful reminder that if something sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. Another major error was my lack of risk management, or rather, my complete disregard for it. I would often go all in on a single investment, putting all my eggs in one basket. I thought if it goes up, I will make a fortune. If it goes down, well, I will just wait for it to recover. This heavy concentration in risky assets meant that any downturn hit me incredibly hard. There was no diversification, no safety net, just blind hope. I remember pouring a large sum into a single cryptocurrency, believing it was the next big thing. I watched it soar for a bit, felt like a genius, then it crashed hard, and it did not recover for a very, very long time. That feeling of seeing my life savings dwindle with each passing hour was terrifying. It led to emotional trading, which is perhaps the most destructive habit an investor can have. I would make decisions based on fear and greed rather than logic and research. When the market dipped, I would panic sell when it surged. I would jump in without thinking, often buying at the peak. It was a roller coaster of emotions, and my portfolio reflected it. Each loss fueled more anxiety, leading to more impulsive decisions. I was constantly checking my phone, my mood swinging with every market fluctuation. It was exhausting, and it drained me both financially and mentally. I lost a significant amount of the money I had painstakingly saved up. It was a tough pill to swallow, realizing that all my hard work had, in a way, gone down the drain because of my own ignorance and recklessness. After hitting rock bottom, I knew I had to change. I was tired of the emotional toll, tired of constantly losing money, and tired of the empty promises of quick riches. I decided to take a step back and learn. Really learn. I devoured books on personal finance, investing principles, and economic history. I started understanding concepts like diversification, asset allocation, and long-term growth. I realized that investing is not about getting rich overnight. It is about patience, discipline, and understanding the fundamentals. I shifted my mindset from chasing quick gains to building a solid financial foundation. I embraced a more conservative approach, focusing on steady growth and minimizing risk. I started looking into low-cost index funds, exchange-traded funds, and other diversified investments. The idea of getting rich slowly, boring as it sounds, suddenly became incredibly appealing. It meant peace of mind, something I had not had in a long time. I also learned the importance of having an emergency fund and not investing money I might need in the short term. This was a huge relief, knowing that even if the market took a hit, my essential needs were covered. It freed me from the pressure of having to sell at an inopportune time. Now, my approach is completely different. I no longer chase trends or listen to unreliable tips. I focus on understanding what I am investing in, its long-term potential, and how it fits into my overall financial plan. I regularly review my portfolio, rebalance it when necessary, and ensure it aligns with my risk tolerance. I also prioritize saving and budgeting, making sure I am living within my means and consistently contributing to my investments. It is not glamorous, but it is effective. And frankly, it has brought me a sense of control and stability that I never had before. This journey has taught me invaluable lessons, and that is why I am here sharing my story with you all. I want to help other young people avoid the mistakes I made, to understand that financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. It is about building good habits, being patient, and continuously educating yourself. My goal is to share my experiences, the good and the bad, to provide a realistic perspective on personal finance. I will never recommend specific products or promise unrealistic returns. Instead, I want to empower you with the knowledge to make informed decisions for yourselves. So, let us talk about some key takeaways for navigating your 20s and building a solid financial future. First, educate yourself about money and how it works. This might sound obvious, but it is incredibly important. The earlier you learn about personal finance, investing, and compound interest, the faster you can use these tools to your advantage. It might seem boring, but understanding these concepts is crucial for long-term financial well-being. When I graduated college and started earning a decent income, I dedicated myself to reading as much as I could about investing principles. I realized that if I wanted to avoid repeating my past mistakes, I needed to build a strong foundation of knowledge. There are countless resources out there: books, articles, reputable financial blogs. Take the time to learn the basics, understand different investment vehicles, and grasp the power of compound interest. It is not about becoming a financial expert overnight, but about having enough knowledge to make informed decisions and avoid common pitfalls. Second, get your finances in order. This means creating a budget, tracking your expenses, and understanding where your money is going. If you are like many college graduates, you might be dealing with student loan debt. You might have just started a new job with a nice salary. The temptation to spend on new gadgets, fancy dinners, or expensive clothes can be strong. But I urge you to resist that urge. Focus on spending as little as possible and beginning your investment journey early. When I got my first real job, my rent was still around $500 a month, and I lived with roommates. This kept my overall expenses low and allowed me to invest a significant portion of my income, even when the market was low. The bigger the gap you can create between your income and your expenses, the more you can save and invest. This is not about depriving yourself, but about making conscious choices that align with your long-term financial goals. It is about prioritizing financial freedom over instant gratification. Third, learn about different career paths and what truly interests you. When I was in college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I bounced from business school to biology, realized I hated both, then moved to its systems management, and finally landed in software engineering. I tried a bunch of different things, and that is how I discovered what I enjoyed and what I was good at. Internships were incredibly helpful for me, allowing me to experience different work environments and understand what kind of job I wanted. Go to career fairs, talk to people in various fields, and do not be afraid to try new things. Your 20s should be a time for exploration. Focus on learning and gaining valuable experience rather than just chasing the highest paying job. If you think you would be a better fit somewhere else, do not be afraid to shake things up and do things that are uncomfortable. Long-term career satisfaction is far more important than short-term financial gains. Fourth, understand that your social life will evolve throughout your 20s. In my early 20s, going out to bars and drinking dominated my social life, just like it probably did for many of you. But this gets old, and it is expensive. The hangovers only get worse with age. Trust me, as you get older, you will find that you value deeper conversations and activities that do not necessarily involve drinking your friends' time. And your own will become more limited as everyone takes on more responsibilities. Focus on nurturing deep friendships and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I have found that the quality of your relationships is a far greater source of happiness than money or material possessions. If you are not happy with your current social circle, put yourself out there and make a change. Fifth, navigating the dating world in your 20s can be challenging, especially with the rise of online dating. From what I have seen, dating in your early 20s is very different from dating later in your 20s. Early on, many people seem to be looking for casual relationships or are focused on their careers and travel and not looking for anything serious. As people get older, more and more start looking for a life partner, someone to settle down with. It is natural to feel some pressure as your friends start pairing off. But remember, everyone is on their own timeline. Do not let external pressure dictate your decisions. Instead, focus on working on yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, and always keeping your eyes open for new connections. Do not be afraid to ask people out and put yourself out there. The worst they can say is no. Setting aside time for dating is important so you can figure out what you want in a partner. You might just find them. You never know who you will meet or where it will take you, even if it does not work out. 6. Prioritize your health. In my early 20s, my diet consisted mainly of microwavable meals, ramen noodles, frozen pizzas, burgers, fries, and plenty of light beer. I guess that is the Midwesterner in me. But as you get older, maintaining this kind of lifestyle becomes much more difficult. Eating healthy foods and exercising regularly are crucial for setting yourself up for success in all areas of your life. The gym might feel like the easiest part of your day to skip, but it is essential. Develop these good habits now so you can look and feel amazing well into your 30s, 40s, and beyond. Your physical and mental health are your most valuable assets. Invest in them. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, develop a value system or a faith in something. To me, this could be the single most important thing you do. Believe in something bigger than yourself. I am not talking about getting into heated debates or angrily tweeting about politics. I mean finding something deeply meaningful that connects you to your community and provides a framework for your life. For me, as a Christian, I have found immense peace and purpose in volunteering and connecting with good groups of people to pray and discuss deep topics with. This has been invaluable in guiding my decisions in this incredibly complicated world. A strong value system helps you navigate challenges, make ethical choices, and find meaning beyond material possessions. If you have made it this far, thank you for listening to my story and my thoughts. I hope my experiences, especially my mistakes, can offer some valuable insights for your own journey. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below or anything you have learned in your 20s. Peace out.